So I just finished playing Coldfront, an indie game developed by Rachel Draws This and RPG Maker. The game is super short and free to play, so if you have about 45 minutes to spare, you should go to the itch.io page for it and play through it once before watching the rest of this video. I'll leave a link to it down in the description. And this is your official spoiler warning, since I will be talking about the two endings of the game. There's really a lot to love about this game. It has a really nice art style, both in the visual novel sections and the in-game exploration sections. That's just really charming. The character designs are super fun and capture the feel of their respective characters very well. In a way, it's as if the character designs themselves show the way they are viewed through Augie's eyes throughout the story. Augie, being self-conscious about his friendship with Winnie, has an inferiority complex. To him, he is the dirt on the ground, being walked all over by everyone, while Winnie is the unattainable, clear blue sky, looked up to by everyone and impossible for Augie to reach. To show this, Augie is represented with a more rough, boyish design in warm, earthy colors. Winnie is represented with a less masculine design, having delicate features and cool colors, lots of blues and grays. It's really cool to see, since you're able to instantly understand their personalities just through how they look. It's a simple thing, but is not often accomplished, or is seemingly entirely avoided. I personally believe it adds a significant amount of charm to the entire project. I also want to compliment the atmosphere of the game. There were moments that the game was able to build tension to the point that I fully expected a jump scare, but when it got to the point that I would have gotten jump scared, the payoff was not a jump scare. Yet it was still able to send chills down my spine. It's something that's difficult to achieve, and it's even more difficult to do it well. I also really liked the story for what it was. The beginning sections of the game set everything up very well and managed to really put you into Augie's headspace. It's immediately obvious that Augie is suffering from severe paranoia and a crippling inferiority complex as he hallucinates Winnie insulting him. It comes out of nowhere and is extremely disorienting as sudden, loud music plays and Winnie names off every horrible thing Augie's ever worried that Winnie thinks of him. The worst part is, he fully believes Winnie said this stuff. As jarring as it is, and we believe it too for a moment, as jarring as it is. Perhaps because it's as jarring as it is. It being a delusion of some sort becomes obvious to us when we see Winnie's reaction, but though we snap out of it, Augie does not. He does not understand that they're only delusions, and Winnie isn't lying about not understanding what he means until you reach the game's good ending. It's all done very well and lets you understand Augie's anxiety really well. It's not super subtle, it's very easy to pick up on, but it's well done, which is what's important. The rest of the game keeps to this storytelling philosophy, dropping hints that are easy to spot but don't explain everything. Such as when you go into the bathroom of Augie's house and hear sirens coming from under the water in the tub, or the mystery of Winnie falling down the stairs 6 months earlier, which we are fed informational crumbs of through their conversations and post-it notes in Winnie's bathroom. These are hints to the mysteries that are built up throughout the game. What happened 6 months ago and what's happening right now. And though they're only hints, they're clear enough that with just a bit of new information, we would have a full picture. When Augie and Winnie reunite, and if you choose not to succumb to Augie's paranoid delusions, we get our answers to those two mysteries. Now, the bit where the two friends have their real conversation is very easily forgivable. There's new information given to us, since we learn from Winnie that Augie didn't actually push him down the stairs, and it's a really cathartic moment to have the characters resolve their problems through a conversation, since they'd not had one since Winnie fell down the stairs. It's a really sweet moment, and it's helped with the beautiful art and music playing with it. The issue is that, after they make up, the two of them have a very lengthy talk about where they are, why they're here, what the sirens in the bathroom were, what the monster that was chasing them is, what they're wearing. They just explain the entire mystery. There was a really engaging mystery that the player was trying to solve, so it's really frustrating to have the game just solve it for you. Just tell you what everything is and not be even a little wrong about it. The rest of the game is fine. We get a fight scene, a waking up from the nightmare scene, and an epilogue. But it felt as if the game ended as soon as they finished explaining everything to us, making it feel as if there wasn't even a reason to play the game after that, except to see whether or not they were wrong. The entire time I kept thinking the game would have been elevated so much if, instead of explaining everything, it had skipped that explanation, done the fight scene, and had them wake up in the car to the sound of sirens, letting the player realize instead of listen. The worst part of this, and I really do hate to say this, but I actually think the bad ending of the game is better because of this. The bad ending, which is locked in if you choose to give in to Augie's paranoia and attack Winnie, does everything I said the good ending should have done. Winnie instantly dies, and Augie immediately wakes up to see that, unlike in the good ending where he survives through the epilogue, Winnie instantly died in the crash. The ending is significantly shorter than the good ending because it doesn't explain everything to us. It isn't told to us why the coma world was the way it was. It isn't explained to us why they were wearing the clothes that they were wearing, and it doesn't even entirely explain the implication of Augie's happiness at Winnie's death. This ending is so much edgier and disturbing than the good ending, since Augie becomes a murderer and is just happy with where it left him. I really like the resolution between them in the good ending. I like the optimism and warmth of the good ending. It's unfortunate that, unlike the good ending, the bad ending trusts its audience significantly more. I will say that, and this is true of literally everything, there is a bit of a saving grace here. It is very interesting that it is only the ending in which Winnie survives that we get this long-winded explanation. Without him, everything is abrupt and disturbing as Augie devolves into a psychopathic happiness. You could say that as long as Winnie is alive, everything is simple and we can rest in the fact that we are sure of everything. But as soon as he is gone, everything becomes complicated and dark. We can no longer be sure about what is happening in the story. In a way, there is still some merit in this juxtaposition of the two endings, a juxtaposition that really allows us to appreciate the security that Winnie's friendship allows Augie to have.